Hey guys, it's Amy from Colorado Mountain Living, and I wanted to give you an update this week on our plan for power. So I'm going to break it down for you, everything that we've decided, how we're going to make it more affordable, make it more feasible, make it doable. Because right now time is of the essence, winter is coming, so we want to get our electric done as soon as possible. I'll tell you a little bit about our electric plan, and I'm going to go over our recap from fixing the house inspection. And I'll show you some good news here. We got our sign off on our sheathing inspection, so that is good to go. And we really do enjoy working with our housing inspector. He's super nice, and he said if we ever have any questions, we can call him anytime, and he will help us if we have any questions about the next inspection. He said it's a lot easier to save everybody time and trouble by just getting questions answered ahead of time. So we're definitely on top of the inspections now and know what to ask when we need help. So I want to show you kind of what we've been up to this week, how we caught up with the housing inspection fix, and some of the things we've been doing around the garden and the property to kind of get ready for fall. So stay tuned, guys. Well, today's project is refinishing this table. I'll show you really close the finish that's on here. It also serves as my workbench, so there's just tons of places where the finish just got destroyed. It's moved about 8 different times in its lifetime. So there's lots of scuffs, lots of ugliness about this table. I always have a tablecloth on it, but you know, I think it's worth refinishing and saving it. I mean, it is made out of wood, so it can be workable. And I'm just gonna sand it down. It's gonna take a while. There's a few layers of paint and varnish on here, but I'm gonna sand it down. Then I'm going to stain it cherry, like the beams, and then maybe I'll get to a final coat today. We'll see. Well, it's getting there. The top's pretty much where I want it. I'm just kind of working on the legs right now. So Bryan is working here on the sheathing aspect of the inspection that we needed to redo. What the inspector wanted to see was the plywood going down over the edges of the house. So where you can see the rim joist here on the bottom, he wants the plywood, instead of meeting it at the top of the rim joist, to go to the bottom of it, and then re-nailing the nail pattern with 6-inch spacing. So here Bryan's rolled up the Tyvek and cutting along the existing sheathing so he can place new OSB boards down that will cover the rim joist area. So we're not having to take off all of the Tyvek, but we're just going to cut it at a place where we can re-roll 9-foot section. The other thing that the inspector wanted to see in our housing inspection for the sheathing was fire blocking on the inside seams of the walls. So wherever there was a seam on the OSB, he wanted to have a 2x4 or 2x6 hammered over it, placed over it. And then he wanted to see the fire blocking, which is the board that is more horizontally placed at a 10-foot interval on the wall. So while Bryan was working on getting the sheathing boards cut for going around the bottom, I was cutting lengths in between all of the studs on the walls for all of the seams. So definitely a lot of measuring, probably cut 100 blocks that day. Well, I was happy with how the table came out. Looks like I went shopping and bought a whole new table. You can actually see all the wood grain underneath, and the polyurethane came out nice and bright and shiny, and so I was definitely happy with the new table that we've got now. Now just trying to get the chairs to match. Maybe on another day. We've talked about being on-grid or off-grid, and we've looked into both options. So for us, the first step was to cost everything out. So we first contacted United Power, which is the local electricity company around here, and their quote was based on distance from the road. So the initial quote for us was $14,500 to bring power all the way to the house. So we thought, well, maybe we should just look at solar because we had so much sun. We thought we could really get into solar panels. But when we costed that out, the pricing of the kit that we were looking at was about $8,500. So we thought, well, let's go back to the power company and see if we could have them do some of the work and then we could bring the line to the house ourselves. So if they were to bring it about a third of the way to the house, put a pole on the corner and a transformer, and we were to bury the rest of the line, we got a quote of $11,600. So not that much more of savings for the amount of work that we were still going to have to do to bury the rest of the line ourselves. So we went back again, and if we had the company just put in a new pole with a transformer and then we bury the entire line ourselves to the house, we were given a quote of $3,700. So for us, that made the most sense to be able to get our project done in a timely manner. So we're going with that option. It doesn't mean that we're not going to do solar in the future, but we're definitely going to start with electricity just so we can have power and get things like our water pump going for our well and all the other things that you can use electricity for. And we might end up going with a solar system in the future and tying it into the grid and maybe generating some power ourselves. So that's definitely still on the table, but right now we want to just get the job done. So that's the breakdown of why we made our decision the way we did. So all right, well, I hope you all found that interesting and love to hear your thoughts. I know we're trying to be reasonable, that not stupid. We're definitely trying to be reasonable by saving money, but we also want to be responsible with doing our own electric as well. And we've spoken to a few electricians about the requirements of their opinions of what it will take. So, and as beautiful as it is outside, we know that the seasons are going to change real fast. So we're really under the gun to kind of get some things accomplished. So thanks for sticking with us. We'll keep you updated. But let me leave you with this. It's a really nice view outside today.